5 top issues in relationship from the male perspective.
I think no male in the world wants to come home for a partner to tell him, we need to talk. When a boy gets a child, when one of us get a child, do you know what we tell him? Your life is over now.
It's very sad, but it's very true, Tarek.
How can we make it less? Like, what advice would you give a partner who's in an abusive relationship? Because I'll tell you what, I know men that are being abused constantly.
In this case, changing the partner is not a solution. Because if this scenario exists, the person will go into the same thing again and again and again. Hi guys, and today I would like to discuss one of the topics in our life that touch all of us, and I chose an interesting person, husband, a father, successful businessman, Tarek.
That's such a nice introduction, Eleonora.
Thank you.
Can I call you Doctora or not?
No,
Okay.
no.
Okay. Well, to me you are. Okay.
How are you doing?
Very good.
Good. Tarek, I would like to make it a tradition in my podcast and to ask the same question to everyone who is going to come. And there is a question when I believe all of us, we have a turning point or points in our life. So can you recall when was the turning point in your life when you said like, "Khalas, like this it cannot continue. I need to change something"?
Wow. It's interesting, huh? When you said turning points. It's points. It's
Yeah.
lots of turning points. And generally, I think the way it happened to me is, as you go through life, certain things make you change perspective about some points. So, for instance, when I broke my leg, it was a turning point to me not wanting to be overweight anymore. I felt horrible. I felt weak. I felt vulnerable. And then from that point, I said, "Khalas, I want to start working out. I want to eat healthier. I need to fix things things related to my health, for sure." When I received my firstborn, when I picked up Yara, and I saw her, and I thought, "Oh my God, that living creature is going to stay at home with me for the rest of time." It was another turning point, and it's a gradual turning point. Actually, I think it changed the way I look at life altogether, having a baby. Because it introduces something that you were not aware of before. It had no existence in your life, and then you suddenly think, "Oh my God, that's important. I have a baby now." So that's another one.
What have you realized when Yara joined your life?
I realized the second day that she's not going home, that this is home. Because normally I'm used to kids coming over with relatives, and then you have fun with them, you play for a couple of hours, and then you say, "Khalas, goodbye, bye, go." And they go. This one wasn't going, the second day. Eleonora, honestly, for me, life is a set of ladders, bottomless, topless ladders. You just keep on climbing. A new ladder was introduced, and it was a centerpiece in the middle. And then when Khaled came, there was another ladder. So they're a category on their own. It changes everything. It changes how you look at fun. It changes how you look at... it changes priorities, no?
I believe so.
Yeah.
It
rearranges everything.
Yeah. I always say that for me, many things I would not do in life if not my children. Yeah. From one side, it's a good excuse to some things that we might not like that happened in life or that we like, but I believe that definitely with them life become absolutely different. We can do choices that without them we would not do. So it's
certain things you would do without them that you wouldn't do with them.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
So it introduces new things, and it stops some things as well.
Okay, cool. So about interesting topic for today. It's a topic of relationship
Okay.
And I believe that in one way or the other, it relates to any human being, because all of us, we had relationship, even if not male-female relationship, but mother-father, child-parent, and so on. But I would like to talk to you about male-female relationship generally. So what do you think from the male perspective? Yeah, because also you have a big male community. You have also men talk. How you call these episodes? That
Men only. Yeah.
men only. Yeah. So you have something with this. What do you think the 5 top issues in relationship from the male perspective?
From the male perspective?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. Very interesting.
And we can share maybe different.
I think from the male perspective, okay, if I was to analyze males and tell you what's wrong with most males, or what is wrong from the point of view of a male, because they're two different things.
Yeah. Point of view of a male.
Okay, so from the point of view of a male, I think that most males think that women care too much, i.e., we're primitive. We're binary. We're like 1 0 1 1 1 0 1. That's it. That's all we know, right? And I think males in general think that women are intellectually very advanced, and that puts them under a huge stress. So I think no male in the world wants to come home for a partner to tell him we need to talk. It's like the end of the world.
So problem number 1, we need to talk.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think we just don't.
Actually, it resonates. It's true.
The first reaction.
There is something about it. Yeah.
The first reaction would be, oh, what's wrong now?
Yeah.
Right? I think he just wants to sit down and watch the game and be nowhere, or just go out with his friends and just laugh and do silly things. Honest to God. And I'm not saying that they're all innocent. I'm just saying from their point of view, I think that's one of the key issues. And it's related to comms, if you think about it. Because comms have become the same as a problem. Maybe he just wants to talk.
Yeah.
So that's one.
Okay.
2, I think, I don't know if I'm qualified enough to sit here and identify the 5 top problems.
No, it's like generally we share the experiences. Yeah. So generally talk. I have my experiences from the working with people directly who comes and have issues and name them issue. Yeah. So it's interesting for me, and I have male and female in work. Yeah, and I see a lot of common issues. Yeah, that people comes with the same. Basically, I can name 5. Yeah,
Is
maybe a
talking
bit more. Let's
is
say
talking
10.
one of them? Is talking one of them?
Actually, yes.
Okay.
The thing that if we look at it directly, yeah, it can say we need to talk.
Okay.
But if we look deeper in it, it's as you said that men are simpler than we think, and women in analyzing things a bit more complex. So they need this.
A bit more complex?
We need this. Let's sit and talk and discuss and look and if we go a bit deeper, yeah, I would say the communication. So the thing is that not set between couples. What is the way that we communicate?
So many different ways.
Yeah. So no, I mean this topic. If we line, yeah, from what is the problem?
I think if I may jump in here, it's look, there's an issue where most men think, oh, she does nothing for me, and a woman thinks, oh, he does nothing for me. But if you look at it from the different
This is another
angle,
issue. So So we jump to number 2.
But this is huge.
Yeah.
This is huge because I don't think there's an alignment of objectives.
Yeah.
I don't think couples sit down and agree on certain elements. And I know it sounds too businessy, but it needs to be done that way. Yani, if I sit here and buy her cars and get her the latest in cookware and then provide the best home and I think to myself, oh my God, I'm doing so great.
Yeah.
I've done all of that. It's not what she wants.
Exactly.
That's not what she asked for. And then she does similar things to
But
him
not-
that he doesn't want. So the end result is a lot of wastage in effort for nothing, Eleonora. She's done a lot, he's done a lot, but they haven't done it for each
there is no
other.
satisfaction. I agree. So if we structure, let's say, I agree with you that the let's talk is an issue.
Yeah.
Because for everything there is right timing. Yeah, and if we don't communicate, so how would you like I let you know that there is something that we need to discuss after work, before work, in the weekends, day after day, once
They're
a
all
month.
bad.
There is
All bad.
something. Yeah.
See, I'm hearing this and they're all bad. After work, I don't want to talk. Before work, I have to go and work. On the weekend, I want to have fun.
Yeah, so this is the thing, but it's better than rather than there is no agreement. So for me, I believe that as long as there is an agreement or that we just don't talk about it and this is agreement, this is also possible. Yeah, that you do your duties, I do your duties, but there should be sort of agreement, because if there is no agreement, there is no communication.
Agree.
So if we don't agree how we are going to communicate, it's a complete mess. The second thing that you said, that it slipped my mind now.
I do a lot.
Yeah, when
She does a lot, but we're not doing it for each other. We're doing it for us.
Yeah, and here we hit, and actually it's amazing because the things that you are talking about, actually the issues that people come into work and to resolve, and it's expectations.
Yeah.
Because the majority of our issues that we meet in a relationship is because he has expectations, she has expectations, but these expectations, nobody knows about them.
It's a secret.
Yeah.
If he cares, he would know. Or
He will get it.
no, he wouldn't. He's primitive, guys. It's binary, 1, 0, 1. Trust me, we're not advanced.
You know, it's funny because it's funny when we talk about it, but in reality it's so serious because it's an issue. Yeah, it's so simple, but many people have issues in relationship because they have expectations and nobody knows about these expectations. There are many divorces, and also I deal with these cases, that it happens because expectations were not met. And here there is the other aspect. So people go into relationship because they want to feel safe, because they want to secure their financial situation. Yeah, it's a very popular.
I think money is a huge problem.
Financial situation, especially for us women, it's one of the topics that a lot there. Yeah, why would you like to build a relationship? Yeah, when people come, why would you like to get married? I want to feel secure. I want to feel safe. I want to make sure that my financial situation is okay. Okay, but it has nothing to do with the relationship. So when we go into relationship out of these expectations, the relationship never gonna happen. And that's why partly there are so many...
And then it's tied to something that is very variable, so it changes a lot. So for instance, if you build a relationship based on the fact that he will provide money, this will change, guaranteed. It doesn't matter how good he is. Sometimes it's going to be good, sometimes it's going to be bad. And if you're going to decide how your relationship is based on how much money he's making, oh my God. This relationship is definitely going to go to hell.
Yeah.
Because he will pick it up. He will understand that very soon. See, that's a problem. Mm-hmm. That is a problem. the idea is, I think men need to provide for the house. It's
I
the
agree.
man's job.
Yeah, I agree.
Right?
This is for, yeah.
And I will not sit here, I don't care what people think, right? I think men are responsible to provide for the house.
By nature, let's say, by nature, by society, by culture,
By common sense.
By common sense.
What are we gonna do?
Whatever.
What are we gonna do when she's 9 months pregnant and 2
Yeah.
years breastfeeding? What is she gonna do? What are you gonna do?
Yeah, no, this I agree, but I agree also that that relationship is something, and my financial situation is something else. It's two different things, and we cannot. Okay, we can, yeah, theoretically, this is what many people does, but the moment it happens, it ruins everything because we mix things. We mix understanding of relationship with feeling of security. That creates another issues that called dependency. So
Tell me more about
dependent.
dependency. Who becomes dependent?
She becomes dependent because if we are going into relationship because of I want to feel secure or I want to correct my financial situation. So if this marriage, for example, or a relationship happens and a woman feels in the relationship secure. Now she feels good, she has a guy, a man or a husband near her and everything is okay. But the moment the guy is not there or he decides that for some reason this relationship does not satisfy anymore, she will be insecure again. So the feeling of security
Is from outside.
Is from inside. So
yeah, well, in her case, it's from outside. So it's a problem, yeah.
Yeah, so it's a problem. So we can only, actually security is something that is within us, not
Absolutely.
outside of us.
Absolutely.
No money, no relationship, no status or anything else can make us secure. It's an inner core, inner feeling, and there are reasons for it, why we have it or don't have it. So, or if we go to more simple example, the financial thing, yeah, the women who go into relationship to feel more safe from the financial point of view, again, if he's not there, so she's not secure anymore, yeah, and this how we create a dependency, and then they start to do what they don't want to do. If abuse appears in the family or in the relationship, they force to stay because there is dependency. Yeah. And unfortunately, in so many cases that are linked to abuse, dependency is one of the top issue why it happens to us.
But don't you think there's a healthy level of now I'm podcasting. I'm asking you. Sorry, no. But don't you think there's a healthy
in this
level?
Podcast, it's just a conversation.
Yeah, good.
Both ways.
Don't you think there's a healthy level of dependency? Because I think, look, I'll tell you what. I said this before and I'll say it again in Takhayal. I said that I'm actually very proud, dependent husband. I am. In certain aspects, I can't do it without her. I can't.
Of course. Look, I don't think it's dependency. It's a choice. You choose to rely on her, and you know that you can. So
but we are a dependent race. Like I gave an example of Tom Hanks in Castaway, when he got lost in an island. He made a friend out of a ball called Wilson.
Okay.
Right? And when Wilson got lost, a volleyball, got lost in sea, he started crying and he risked his life to save Wilson, and then he was apologizing. But he wasn't apologizing for Wilson because Wilson is just a broken ball, right? He was apologizing to the fact that he needed that creature in his life, that he created that imaginary creature. We are.
Yes, I agree. We've been created, and God created in such a way as a couple, yeah? Male and female, yeah? So, yes, but...
no, this is changing.
But there is one aspect.
Yeah.
We are coming into this life alone, and we are living alone. So, as a soul, as a human, we are very independent. And the moment there is dependency, there will be always issue. I think, or at least what I feel, that what you are talking about, it's more of you choose to be dependent, Tarek. It's not that you are dependent. You choose to be dependent. You rely on her in many ways. You know that she can take care, that she's good supporter probably, and. So it is a bit different. It's naturally happening. What I was talking about as dependency, as
Full dependency.
It's when we, you can say.
I think what you mean is, yes, I am dependent and I'm happily dependent by choice, right? But if God forbid something happens, I can still handle things.
Yeah.
In other means. I guess what you mean is very interesting. I think what you mean is a woman or a man, a pair, a couple in a relationship, they need to be there by choice.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, this absolutely. You got me 100% because when we free, we have a choice. When we are not free, we don't have a choice. And the aspect that I was talking about before is that we are not free when we go into relationship to cover other needs. To cover feeling of safety, feeling of security, not being alone. Oh my God, I don't want to spend the rest of my life alone. It's the wounds that some people are trying to cover. Yeah. And then we become dependent.
Yeah, I always thought about that. I always said, I said that in several episodes where it's interesting when someone can't stay alone. It's a problem. It's really a problem. If you can't enjoy your own company, who the hell will?
I agree.
Honestly, if Eleonora cannot sit with Eleonora for 2 hours and be happy about it, what do you think I would?
Yeah.
Why would I want to sit with you for 2 hours if you can't do it?
I agree absolutely. When we are in a comfort with ourselves, we feeling secure about our life, about our jobs, about our commitments, about our friendships, about different aspects of our life, then of course it's a lot of freedom.
100%. And then people can feel that.
Yeah.
So if you're happy with yourself, listen to this. If you're happy with your own company, trust me, people around you can feel it and they would want to spend time with you.
Yeah.
But if you're not,
and
people can also feel it.
Exactly. And that's some of people who also come into healing. This is another difficulty that they face, that I cannot find partner. I cannot, male or female, both. Yeah. Why? Because in many ways we are not interesting to ourselves. So when you're not interesting to yourself, who will be interested?
Thank you.
To be with you.
Yeah.
It's
and you need to stop blaming it on the universe. It's mostly you.
Yes, and this is the thing that in reality it's all about us. Everything is about us. Everything is inside us. The questions and the answers, all is there.
What's another problem in relationships? There was one that I wanted to talk about. Very interesting one. I think it's the mixing up of. Would you think the mixing up of roles is a problem today?
Of
roles. It's all gray. Like in the past, it was easier.
Okay.
Like it was man, woman.
Okay.
Automatically, I know what I need to do. Automatically, I know what I need to do. You know what I mean? Like both sides have a clear-cut task.
Yeah.
Today, it's very fluid. Very fluid.
I agree with you that it's very fluid, and there are many aspects that changed it. Yeah. that affected it. Yeah, this feminism and all these things, the women empowerment, that we want to be someone, that we want to do, that we want to achieve, to study. And there are so many amazing aspects that how it happened, yeah, that women started to get education, especially talking about Middle East, yeah, being in certain jobs, being recognized, and. But also, it's created negative aspects, yeah, that women went, and I think, and also from the quantum psychology point of view, from the family constellation point of view, this is one of the biggest issue that we have with men, is that women went into competition
With men.
For the spot. Yeah, so who is here, number one? Who is here?
But do you think, Eleonora, there is a boss, or one or two?
There is, look, from the constellation point of view, from the quantum psychology point of view, yes, there is the difference. And how we explain it, it's the law of hierarchy, yeah? Who came, for example, the law of hierarchy, if you want to have the healthy family, healthy relationship, healthy children, woman, man, hierarchy has to be respected. Yeah, and what it means, that means who came into the family system first, he's the main. Yeah, so how we look into it?
Why is the man who came first?
He's the main because he proposed.
But she accepted.
Yeah, but he make the first movement. So
Okay.
I will explain now deeper. So he makes the first movement. Yeah, so he propose. He is the number one in the family. She is number two. Children 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, by number how they come. If this is respected, it's a happy family. If by any chance this is not respected, we will have issues. Now let's look deeper. This is from the hierarchy point of view. So who came in the family system first is the main. So who came, father and the mother, yeah, so they are the main. Then grandfather and grandmother, they are older. So this is how hierarchy is built. Now, if we look into religion point of view,
الرجال قوامون على النساء.
who've been created first, who came first?
Adam first, then
So
Eve.
it's the hierarchy, how it is. It's not written by us. We did not decide about it. It is what it is. Yeah. So in this life, there are some laws. If we know them, we are lucky and we have the chance to be successful and happy. If we don't know, okay, we do mistakes, we learn, and something will come out of it. So yeah, it is what it is. By hierarchy, man is.
And you think that absence of clear boundaries between roles is causing issues?
Of course, but it might be causing issues because the hierarchy is not respecting. So one of the laws that actually affects relationship or family the most is the law of hierarchy.
Wow.
The most. For example, common approaches, yeah, in life. A family, they want to go on the trip, yeah, and instead of deciding between them where they want to go, they choose one of the child or children. Where, guys, would you like to go? So the hierarchy is broken. It's not decided between the ones who understand what they can afford, where they would like to go. The priority given to the smallest, yeah. For example, how they sit on the table, yeah. So how the food distributed. So if it first to the children, yeah, we know who is the boss, who rules the family, yeah. So it has to be him, me, yeah, and then children, the oldest, and by order. These small things, yeah, they are so small, and you can say, okay, stupid things, they change a lot.
I am so interested. It makes so much sense. Okay.
Yeah. How people sit together or sleep near each other, we can say who rules the family.
Wow.
Yeah, because it's hierarchy, it's unconscious process that it's happening without us realizing. Yeah, so these are the things. So these little things, who and how put the food, how we choose where we go, how we buy the clothes, by the way. Yeah, when, for example, when there is the budget and people distribute, I don't know, I need a pair of jeans and my child need a pair of jeans. Yeah,
If you buy him first, there's
yeah,
something wrong.
absolutely. So I'm older, I'm the main. Yeah, I buy for me. If
My
something rest,
God, this is so true, because I'll tell you what, I think one of the biggest problems I see today in families, which you bring up now, is when children run the house.
absolutely. Yeah,
When children run the house, when children don't need friends, they need parents. Friends are in school. They can find them. They can make a lot of friends. This is one of the things that freaks me out. Why is people that follow and they send, I'm having this issue and that issue. And it's like, I'm best friends with my daughter or I'm best friends with my son. Naam, Habibi?
yeah.
What do you mean best friends?
Actually, Tarek, it's one of the big issues and it's one of the worst thing that can happen. It's very, it sounds awful, yeah? But when we becoming a friend to our, yes, you have to be there. They need to rely on you. But to be a best friend, that's mean we become
Equal.
equal.
We're not equal.
Exactly.
He needs you not to be equal. He needs authority.
Of course.
He needs authority.
Authority, how they will learn.
Direction, decisions.
Absolutely.
Often I keep on telling people, look, one of the most interesting things I read, it talks about children and us raising narcissistic children. Why? Not because we love them, because we love ourselves. And bear with me for a second, right? So apparently one of the biggest problems when it comes to raising children is when successful parents both work, they don't spend time at home. When they come home, they want to compensate the child for the feeling of absence that they offer him
Yeah.
often, because he's busy at work, she's busy at work or with her friends or with his friends. They go out, they have
Yeah.
social events, they're important, they're busy, so they don't spend time with the child. So to compensate for that time, not the child, to compensate the feeling they have
Yeah.
of underperforming as a parent,
Guilt.
guilt. What do? They start buying him things. They start saying, great, you've done a wonderful job, for things that he needs to do anyway.
Naturally.
Yes. So cleaning your room, that's your job. You need to do that. And you cannot be commanded for it.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, you've done your room. Excellent. Good. But oh my God, you're such a good kid for doing your room. No, you need to do your room.
Yeah.
You need to pull your weight. And they say if you do that for long enough, the child then leaves the house to the outside world, and the outside world will never treat the child that way. Because
Of
it doesn't
course.
how it works.
Of course.
I don't remember going to work and my boss coming in the morning saying, you've come to work, excellent job. I need to come to work.
Yeah.
Right? He never will thank me for that. So what happens is that child grows up and he's never satisfied in life because he's not getting what he used to get back home. Who did that? The parents. They did it because they love the child? No. It's because they want to remove the feeling of guiltiness they have towards not being there for the child.
Absolutely. A big part of this, yes. And another big part of this, that usually we try to compensate what we did not receive or how we wanted to be treated on them.
By giving it to children.
But by giving it to them, by many things. Yeah, so it's...
So yeah, that's another problem, I think. And there was one more that I wanted to tell you in the beginning, but I forgot now. It'll come.
It will come, yeah. I think here maybe we can name one of the problems is that when in relationship, and that actually affects the relationship male-female, it's when a child becomes the priority. So we don't ask each other when are we going to travel and where. We ask the child, we don't buy things, gifts, or whatever for each other. We care about the child the first. Yeah, so his needs, and here creating gap more and more and more between
the
in
core of the family,
yeah,
which
yeah.
is the parents.
Which is the parents, yeah. Because
See-
if they happy, he will be happy.
See, that's so. Look, I'll tell you something. I'll tell you a secret about the boys' community.
Okay.
Okay. So, when a boy gets a child, when one of us get a child, do you know what we tell him? Your life is over now. Your wife doesn't care about you anymore. She has a child, and she will take care of that child in your second or third or fourth priority now. And when the second child comes, oof, it's even worse.
Yeah. Unfortunately, it's very sad, but it's very true, Tarek.
And we say it as a joke.
Yeah. No,
But there is this, I think it was Nietzsche who said, for every joke you say, there is a portion of the truth.
absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I work with people every day, yeah, and this is one of the things usually male comes with is that I am not there anymore, the priority, she's not there, everything for a child, everything. And it's a delicate topic because she cannot stretch herself, yeah? She needs to be there for a child, she needs to be there for him. But in the same time, I do believe that if the law of hierarchy is respected in our life, this situation can be managed. Yeah, when he remains the priority, she remains for him the priority, and a child comes after them. When a child always comes after couple, we can have
It's a healthier
some harmony.
household.
Yeah.
Healthier household. But no, you're right, and it is a very delicate matter. But I'll tell you another secret about men. He doesn't need much. He's easy to impress. Very easy to impress. It just maybe a word first thing in the morning. He'll leave soon. He'll go to work. He'll be gone for 6-7 hours. You have time, but it's just a trick. And I swear I don't say that in any nasty way. It's just because I'm being asked about this, right? Men are easy to impress. Mm-hmm. Surprise him. Give him some food. Give him a sandwich. He'll be happy. But make him a coffee. Oh, he will fly. Run to him when he comes home. He will feel great. Act like you left the child and run to him. He will feel absolutely great. And all of that, given that we're talking about a good man, a man who takes care of the house. I'm not talking about a man who doesn't deserve this. Of course not. But sometimes you need to
someone who's
give
there and who's care. Basically, what you are talking about, all these aspects, it's attention. Yeah.
That's it. That's all he wants.
Attention. So it's not something difficult, and it can be done in so many ways and so many forms. Yeah.
Yeah.
Generally speaking, things are much easier in reality that we.
Also, I'll
that
tell
we
you,
think.
Eleonora, I think one of the biggest problems relationships have is because we focus too much on trying to fix negatives by mentioning what it is. So if I tell you, can you please stop playing with your nose? The brain doesn't recognize the difference between do and don't. You're going to start thinking about your nose.
Yeah.
Immediately.
Yeah.
Right? It doesn't matter what I do. Right? And with men, ego comes in. So I hate it when you do that. Oh, trust me, he'll do it more. Guaranteed.
Absolutely.
Guaranteed. So we try to fix things by negatively motivating people away from it. Negative motivation rather than positive motivation.
Yeah.
Right? And I'm thinking that's the dumbest thing ever. You're doing it anyway. And I say that to both men and women, but I think women need to do it, pay more attention to it. Because men in general, I think men are less criticizers. We don't notice. We're dumber. We're slower. We don't see details. We see big picture, I think.
We operate. Yeah, I agree. We operate a little bit differently. Yeah.
You're more perfectionist. You come into a house where a woman lives, it's perfection. You come into a house where a man lives, it's a freaking cave.
Yeah.
There's a pile of things here, old food here. We're men, right?
So, what do you think a part of attention? Yeah, we were saying that a part of attention in relationship. What else is important?
I think
To run it in a
smoother way, acceptance,
smoother, happy,
acceptance,
acceptance.
acceptance. Look, you gotta accept. He's like that. He's not gonna change. I don't think people change. I don't think people change. I think people can pretend for a while, but they don't change.
It's interesting. And I will tell you why. No, I believe that people change if they want to change. Yeah, but you cannot change someone. If the person can change, if person grow, develop, work on himself.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
No,
but
by choice.
By choice.
But not
yeah.
by pushing.
No, absolutely no. The thing is that one of the favorite between double messages that I receive in DM. Or I would like to book an appointment. Okay, but let me check when he can. What do you mean? So the appointment, to book an appointment for the partner. So nobody asked the partner. The partner even doesn't know that there is the appointment. So the problem is that when we want to fix someone, so regardless what is the problem, if it's abuse, if it's disrespect, if it's misunderstanding, if it's, I don't know, no intimacy, if it's whatever is there, the problem is not within the partner. The problem is in us. But the thing is that when partners or one of the partner trying to fix this relationship, focusing on the another partner.
Absolutely, I agree.
Yeah, so he need to change. He need to do this and that. It's about him. It doesn't work like this. But unfortunately, still, we don't get it.
Oh, she's done that diagnosis already. She's just calling you to come and do the job, like fix it.
Yeah.
Or the partner has done that. This is another thing. You can't decide as a partner whether or not your partner is sick or not. You can't.
Of course.
Right? But they often do that. So you often hear in a conflict between two people, you go and speak to one and then you speak to the other. They think they know what's wrong with the other side, but they never look within.
Yeah.
So, for instance, you often hear, oh, he's a narcissist. The most word I hear, he's narcissist.
It's became really popular, yeah.
Yeah.
The approaches became really popular. The thing is that and this is
why is it popular?
It's like trend. It's like anything else. It's became a trend. This is how I see it.
I have a theory on this.
There is, yeah.
I have a theory on this.
Yeah, please.
I think the theory is she tells you, oh, he only cares about himself. And he hurts me. And he doesn't care about me. So he's a narcissist.
Mm-hmm.
The problem is, it is very normal for us to care about ourselves. It's very normal. So a certain level of self-care, you'll be crazy to think he doesn't care about himself.
Yeah.
Of course he cares about himself, right? And you're in a conflict, he doesn't care about you. Oh, yes, he's angry, right? So in this moment, you cannot analyze somebody from the outside needs to come and look at the situation and tell you what he thinks, because I'll tell you what, you might be wrong.
Yeah. The thing is that naturally, every human is egocentric. And it's
Absolutely.
our nature, and it's norm. Yeah.
Otherwise, you'll be an idiot.
The thing is that in a relationship, it's true. In a relationship, when we come in a contact with people who are narcissistic, yeah, in reality, and it's true, the only way we can recognize them is that if there is the part of me that is what? Narcissistic.
Wow.
Otherwise, we will not see it. We can only see in others that exist inside us, but we don't want to look into.
Oh my God. So when a woman comes and says, or when a man comes and says, my wife is narcissistic, he's probably narcissistic too?
Yeah, I say there is the part of person.
So we're
It
all on
doesn't
the
mean-
spectrum,
Yeah,
you're saying?
Yeah, there is the part of me that has this side, yeah, because all of us, we are complex creatures with so many personalities, yeah? A father, a husband, a friend,
You play several roles.
yeah, so there might be the part of the person, but they refuse it. They don't want to see. So then, of course, there are so many reasons why we can be in relationship with narcissist, or can, if we meet them more than once, definitely there is something behind it. Yeah, and then
What do you
the
mean? What do
person-
you mean if you meet them more than once?
I mean, if some women, they go into the relationship and say, I only meet narcissists. Yeah.
Ah.
Yeah. So
So
one
if it
relationship
happens more than
more
once.
than once. Yeah. So there is something behind it. One of the things definitely that there is the part of me that I don't want to look into that has this beat. Other things, we need to look into a family system, or into karmic relationship, or deeper layer, that why what was done there, that I meet it again and again and again, because the lesson was not learned. We only repeat scenarios when the lesson was not learned. When we learn the lesson, things are disappearing from our life.
Wow. I think also one of the key issues, and here I'm gonna hit men a little bit hard. Sorry guys. But I think when men lose identity and they forget what is expected of them, I think the relationship goes to crap. It's done. Honestly. Ego is a great thing, and I think ego, it's not bad. Ego, there's I don't know, this philosopher who said ego is what keeps us sane and safe.
Yeah, I mean, it's a part of the personality. It's there, it exists. We cannot do it.
So apparently we need it, because
yeah.
it's the deciding factor of how much do I take care of myself and how much do I take care of others.
Yeah.
Right? And that's the agreement where it needs to hit in the middle. The problem with men is if they lose self-respect. Just get out. Honestly, get out. Go. Rebuild yourself and start something new, because that is not going to work.
When you say lose self-respect, what do you mean? Like, what are the ideas behind it, or examples behind it?
I'll tell you. When a man thinks it's okay for him to start depending fully on his wife to generate income for the house, then, dude, big problem, right? When a man loses the ability to decide how the house operates, and he's okay with it, it's game over. I'm being very honest.
I agree. If we look at it generally, yeah, like from the social point of view, from the thing, agree 100%. The thing is that due to my job, we like to look at the situations a bit deeper, why these things happen. So if we take the exact situation between two people, yeah, so not talking generally, and look into why this happens between them, so why it was like this from the beginning, or it's turned into when she becomes a provider, yeah? And there we will find many answers, and of course we don't talk about it, but there will be the reasons, and the reasons will be from the her issue in relationship with her mom, yeah? Again, wrong hierarchy.
But how can he accept it?
Because he has also issues from the other side. So we only meet people. Look, things always happen for a reason, and if this happen, we attract people on our traumas. She is traumatized. She attracts the same traumatized person, but it's Tarek, it is what it is. It's about all of us.
It's a pile of crap.
And they play for each other.
Oh God.
Some dynamics and programs that are looking for the ways actually of resolution.
But why do great women end with crappy men, and crappy men and great men end up with
What do you mean crappy?
bad women? I'm being honest. I mean, there's that book that says why bitches attract good men and vice versa. So they say good women end up with bad men, and good men end up with bad women. Even though Quran, religion, says otherwise. It says الطيبون للطيبات والخبيثون للخبيثات.
I agree with that. The truth is that, and I've seen it in my practice. I mean, it's not a personal opinion, it's the professional opinion. We attract only similar people to us. So if he says that she's so bad,
it's probably he's bad?
No, it's just they are the same. Oh. Our partners are our mirror. Especially the ones that, I mean, the commitment and serious relationship and there are marriages, they are our mirror. If you don't if you don't like something in your partner,
look back at yourself.
And look back at yourself, because the only things we do for each other, we are mirroring things that exist inside us.
That's why sometimes he behaves differently around her, and differently around his friends, and differently around... Because she influences that part out of him.
Of course. And if we look at the same man, with different women, he will be different. He can meet a woman, she will provide for him. She will meet another woman, he will provide for her. For one, he will bring gifts. For another, he will not. So it's the same man, but he will behave with different women in a different way. Why? He's different. He's the thing, and it's all of us.
He met another woman and he bought her gifts. I can't accept this man. I'm sorry. Otherwise, I swear
I'm talking about free people.
Oof.
I'm talking about free people.
Okay.
About free person. I mean, free man who is.
No. This applies also to a lot of married men who. Who operate differently in relationships outside the house.
Everything exists and everything is there.
But no, he's sick. But there are good people,
of course,
that have fallen traps to very bad people. There are.
I don't believe in it.
But there are brilliant women who are with men who constantly cheat, who are irresponsible, who are...
Look, Tarek, the thing is that, again, if we look from the 3D perspective, out of what I see, you're right. 1,000,000% you're right. The problem is that this perspective doesn't resolve issues.
Let's look at history.
If we want to resolve...
Let's look at history.
If we want to resolve the issue, we need to look at the aspects that are not available for us and that we are not aware of. And these aspects are inside of our subconscious, why certain things happen.
So you think things are happening, if something is happening to... If a woman is married to a man who is not loyal, who is constantly meeting other women, it's probably something she's doing?
Look, they're not necessary. First of all...
Thank you.
First of all, there might be million aspects why. We need to look into situation by situation. First of all, probably someone in her family used to cheat. And it's repeated scenario. Someone used to cheat in my family, and not necessarily mother and father, maybe in grandparents and so on. First. Second, it might be marriages. If we are talking about Middle East, second marriage, third marriage, official, but that applies that there is the third party in the thing. So legal and illegal.
Or fourth or fifth or seventh.
If someone cheating in the family or in the relationship, and our partners are our mirror, there is another aspect that it also comes from the other side. And cheating is not only physical. Physical is the final stage, let's say. Yeah, it can be emotional. So my mind is busy. I am thinking about someone else, and energetically, I am there. I am sitting with the person, with the husband or with the fiancé, but my mind is somewhere else. This is also on energetical level, because the thing that happens on the physical is the last stage. First, it happens on energetical level. Yeah, and if I am there, yeah, it's a part. So there are so many aspects. Looking until we divide this world into black and white, good and bad. Yeah, there are couples and awful things are happening. I do believe always that there are deeper reasons why this is happening. Why she's in relationship with abuser from the beginning. This is the result. But why it happening? Or there is the cheating. This is the result. This is not the problem.
How can you make it less? Honestly, if we're talking about, for instance, let's talk about abuse.
Yeah.
Verbal, physical, emotional.
Yeah.
There's so many different types of abuse,
Yeah.
right? How can we make it less? Like, what advice would you give a partner who's in an abusive relationship? Because I'll tell you what, I know men that are being abused constantly.
I know it from the practice, because I worked with men who've been abused, and time to time it's happened. They are coming, so it's in a both ways.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's in a both ways.
How can we stop it? What advice would you give them? What's the first thing you would tell them?
Look, personally, if there is the physical abuse, yeah, for me, the first thing that you need to start to work on yourself, first thing you need to leave.
Leave.
Yeah, because this cannot continue.
What about emotional abuse?
Yeah, wait a moment. But this, why is not happening? You know why? Because we go back to the first step that we discussed today, because there is dependency.
Dependability, yeah.
So the best thing what we can do for us, male or female, when we are talking about abuse, is working on ourselves, on our inner stability. Yeah, when I feel stable, when our independency, because we can only afford abuse to happen, physical, emotional, verbal, when we are dependent. Otherwise, why? People say because of the children, because of the things. Okay, I believe. I don't believe in it. Yeah,
me
it's
neither.
not. It's not.
Me
true.
neither.
So we go back.
Yeah, because I'll tell you what. For the children, technically speaking, get the hell out.
Of course.
Immediately, because children should not grow up in a house where there's abuse by the partner.
The other thing is that mainly people are going who has victim position as well. Yeah, victim position is there, or they're in triangle of Karpman, victim, abuser, and aggressor. People who remain, then they have a lot of issues with their children, because they say, I spent my life living with your father who used to beat me every day, and the child will tell her, who asked you?
I didn't want you to.
Yeah, and the person go again into the victim, because she believes that she dedicated her life
to them,
for the children, when no one asked us from the beginning.
Problem number 2. Yeah. People don't ask.
Yep.
What do you expect?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So
what? Leave.
From the as an immediate solution, yeah, what I would have suggest, yeah, if you can leave, yeah, and then of course we go and we start to work with ourselves and trying to find the answers why this actually happened in my life. And it doesn't mean that there is something wrong with me. It only means that there are some aspects that I might be aware or not aware of, so programs, dynamics, the position of victim and so on, that operates inside me, yeah, that I have to look into and to clear. Because in this case, changing the partner is not a solution. Because if this scenario exists, the person will go into the same thing again and again and again and again. So changing the partner is not a solution. If these programs are there, they have to be worked out.
Removed, cleaned.
Yep. Yeah. And sometimes in 80%, they will have nothing to do with the person who experienced it.
What about someone in a relationship where the partner cheats? What would you recommend immediately?
Look into in which aspect are you cheating on your husband.
So you think it's reciprocal?
Part of it, yeah. Part of it, yeah.
Wow. It's never one-sided?
Of course, we can never say never, yeah. Of course, there are issues, but there will be something. There will be something. Victim position, dependency. Look, this is one thing. There is another aspect that I discovered through the quantum psychology and how they look into this issue, yeah. And we go back to the
Because I'll tell you what, it's a big statement you just said.
Law of hierarchy, yeah, law of hierarchy. So when the hierarchy is not, because it's complex, we cannot just say one sentence and it's like this. It's not like this. Let's say law of hierarchy. If it's disrespected, a woman will not take enough energy from her family system, yeah. So, and man, for example, he's successful, has business or number of businesses that need to grow. And how we operate. He has the energy of creator, she has material energy, yeah, and she helps him. So if she cannot provide, but there is house and family and maybe already children, so someone else need to come to serve this family.
And to materialize the stuff,
and to
the stuff he's
the
creating.
stuff that he's creating for these children and for this family. Yeah.
Wow.
So, and that's how it's happening. For example, by the way, the third person who comes in the family, yeah, if you talk about cheating, it always comes to serve the family. It's battery, how you call it, battery for the family.
But it's a very interesting statement because you said when a partner is cheating, first start looking at how you are cheating on them. First.
Yes, and I will know that now many people will disagree.
It's a good statement for men. I want to tell men something. If you're cheating, cuz, be very careful because you're probably being cheated on.
Yeah, and here we also need to, people now will take these two phrases from the context and start to make things around it. It's not so simple, yeah? I repeat, the cheating might be, she is not
so
present
many different ways.
In many different ways, yeah? She's not present. Talking, by the way, with somebody over chats, it's very popular nowadays, yeah? My best friends, my bestie, and
I
stuff
don't know
like that.
him.
Yeah, I don't know him. Yeah, he's on the other planet, from another side of the world. It's the same. So we cannot expect honesty when we are not honest.
True.
And it's complex. Yeah, so there we will need to look if he is not honest with me, that means I'm not honest with myself. And cheating there can be explained in many ways. Maybe I am with him and I don't want to be with him. And this is also honesty. And we go back to dependency. Wow. So Tarek, it's a complex.
I'm with him for different reasons.
Exactly. Yeah. So we cannot just, it's never one way. It's complex and there are so many things that affects our life, that affects a particular situation. Every person is unique. So what will be in the case for one will be the different case for the other.
True.
Different dynamics, different programs.
Very true.
Tarek, thank you so much for this time.
No, thank you. I really enjoyed this as usual.
Yeah, me too. It was great. Do you have anything that you would like to ask?
Look, I think family, the creation of a family is something that is very sacred. If you think about it, it's what starts, it's what keeps us going as humanity. And I read something very interesting once that says that every cell in your body wants to continue, wants to reproduce. That's downloaded in in the very base of your DNA, of the human DNA, the need to continue.
Yeah.
And the family is a manifestation of that. So when this woman and man, they come together and they start a family, that's something really sacred. If you do it and it's loaded with bad intentions and diseases and problems, might as well just not start, because you're creating more and more problems to a world that has a lot of it already. So just do it with good intentions. And then when you need help, go to Eleonora to clean up all that crap that you have.
There are so many people to go to nowadays. Thanks,
Well, go to Eleonora, trust me, she's good.
Tarek, thank you so much.
Thank you.
I would not say it better than you. Thank you.